Jazz began in New Orleans in the early 1900s. It included many different styles and was essentially a melting pot of different strains of European music. Jazz relied on syncopated rhythms and improvisation, and there was very little sheet music written. Jazz became mainstream during the Great Migration when African Americans began to move up north and brought their music with them. It was one of the first types of music to be culturally appropriated. In fact, jazz scholars often separate the music into jazz and white jazz, marking a difference in style and meaning between original African American artists and popularized white jazz artists. Despite being popularized by white artists, older generations of whites often disapproved of jazz, saying it was black music and therefore unsuitable for their children. Jazz artists included Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington, and Bix Beiderbecke. Blues is characterized by repeating chords, and 20s blues focused on a 12-bar structure. It evolved from the work songs and field chants of enslaved African Americans and often followed the singer's daily troubles and racial problems. Because of this, blues was only popular among black audiences. In the 1920s, Broadway was in its prime. Talented musicians, composers, and playwrights came from all over the world to create art. At the time, its musicals used jazz rhythms and helped spread jazz when its songs were played on the radio and in movies.